I died for 9 minutes. The doctors will tell you it was cardiac arrest. They will tell you my heart stopped. My brain went quiet. My body went cold on the table at Mount Sinai Hospital in 1996. What I am about to tell you, I have told only my closest family for almost 30 years. During those 9 minutes, HaShem revealed to me 8 names, 8 family names, 8 surnames that have quietly controlled the flow of capital across this earth since the year 1815. And every one of them, every single one, built their empire on a specific Torah law that the rest of the business world has never even read. Let me say this very clearly before I continue. This is not motivational nonsense. This is not a story to make you feel inspired. What I am giving you today is a list of 8 names, 8 money laws drawn directly from the Torah and the Talmud, and a way to begin applying them in your business this week. Most business coaches will never teach you this. Harvard does not teach this. Wharton does not teach this. The men whose names I am about to tell you spent 200 years making sure of that. Today, you get the page they have guarded for 10 generations. Let me tell you why 1815 matters. In 1815, after the Battle of Waterloo, the Congress of Vienna redrew the financial map of Europe. The old aristocratic banking houses had been broken by the Napoleonic Wars. A vacuum opened, and into that vacuum walked 5 Jewish brothers from a single street in the Frankfurt ghetto, Judengasse, sons of a coin trader named Meyer Amschel Rothschild. He sent his 5 sons to 5 capitals: London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, Frankfurt. Each one ran a bank. Each one was connected to the others by blood and by a coded postal system that beat every government courier in Europe by days. When news of Wellington's victory at Waterloo reached Nathan Rothschild in London 24 hours before the British government heard it, that single piece of timing made the family richer than most kingdoms. That was 1815. And from that year forward, 8 family names, built on Torah principles their fathers had taught them in Hebrew, have shaped the flow of capital in the modern world. Now, the question you are asking yourself is, who are the other 7, and what is the law each of them used? I am going to give you all 8, with the law, with the Torah source, and with the modern application. Pay attention. The first name is Rothschild. The law is unity. The Torah source is from Bereshit, the book of Genesis, the deathbed scene where Jacob gathers his 12 sons and tells them that their strength lies only in remaining one family. Meyer Amschel Rothschild made his 5 sons swear that no major decision would ever be made without all 5 of them in agreement. He wrote this into the family will. He enforced it from the grave. Every Rothschild banking decision for the next 100 years required 5 signatures across 5 capitals. Why does this matter for your business? Because most entrepreneurs reading this are operating alone, and they think being alone is strength. It is not. It is exposure. The Talmud, in Tractat Tanit, teaches that a single beam of wood snaps under weight, but 5 beams bound together carry a roof. This week, ask yourself one question. Who are the 4 other people I am bound to by formal agreement, by capital? Right now, your money is exposed. Inflation, market crashes, economic collapse. Most people lose everything when it hits. Jewish billionaire families never do. For 3,000 years, they've used one Torah system to protect and multiply wealth through every crisis. That system is now in one book. Link in the description and first pinned comment, or by family. Who must agree with me before I move? If your answer is 0, you are alone, and alone is fragile. The second name is Warburg, specifically the Warburg brothers of Hamburg, who built M.M. Warburg in the 1800s and later founded what became one of the most influential investment banks in America. Their law is the law of slow time. The Torah source is the Sabbath itself. Once every 7 days, every Jewish business stops, completely. The phone does not ring, the deal does not close. The merchant goes home, lights the candles, and rests. The Warburg family kept this with iron discipline even as they ran one of the largest banks in Germany. They knew something most modern entrepreneurs have forgotten. The man who works 7 days a week makes worse decisions on day 7 than the man who rested on day 7 and made his decisions on day 8. The Sabbath is not just spiritual law, it is decision-making law. Why are most of your worst business decisions made when you are exhausted and operating without space? Because you violated the law of slow time. This week, pick one full day, 24 hours, and shut down completely. No phone, no screen, no deal. Watch what your mind does on Monday morning. The third name is Schiff. Jacob Schiff of Kuhn, Loeb and Company, who in the late 1800s and early 1900s quietly financed the building of the American railroads, lent to nations during war, and helped finance the Russo-Japanese War on the Japanese side. His law was the law of the unseen partner. The Talmud teaches in Tractat Bava Metzia that a man who finances another man's labor, who takes none of the public credit but provides the capital, is more powerful than the laborer himself. Schiff understood this. He never sought the front page. He never wanted his name on the building. He wanted his name on the contract. Most entrepreneurs you know are obsessed with being seen. They want the photo. They want the headline. The wealthiest Jewish bankers in the world spent 200 years cultivating the opposite instinct. Be the one who funds. Be the one who signs the back of the deal, not the front. Visibility is for employees. Capital is for owners. This week, ask yourself one question. Am I trying to be seen, or am I trying to be paid? They are not the same thing. The fourth name is Loeb. Solomon Loeb, the partner of Kuhn, the father-in-law of Schiff. Loeb's law is the law of the chosen son-in-law. In the Talmud, in Tractate Pesachim, there is a teaching that the strongest dynasty is not the one that passes wealth to a son, because a son cannot refuse the wealth and may not deserve it, but the one that passes wealth to a chosen son-in-law, a man who has been tested and accepted into the family by a deliberate act of judgment. Every deal you've ever lost, every salary you didn't get, every contract that fell apart, happened because you didn't have this. For 3,000 years, Jewish billionaires have negotiated with 12 Talmud tactics that nobody taught you. I put every single one in one book, the Talmud Negotiation Bible. Link in the description and first pinned comment. Get it now. Solomon Loeb's bank survived because he chose Jacob Schiff. He did not give the bank to a child. He gave it to a man who had earned the right to marry into the family. Most entrepreneurs you know plan to leave their business to whichever child happens to be born to them. The Torah says, this is folly. Choose your successor. Test your successor. Do not let biology choose for you. This week, ask yourself one question. If I died tomorrow, is the person taking over my business someone I chose for skill, or someone I am stuck with by accident of birth? Stay with me. We are halfway through the 8. The next 4 are the ones almost no business book in America will ever explain. The 5th name is Goldman. Marcus Goldman, who walked into New York in 1869 with almost nothing, started buying short-term promissory notes from small Jewish merchants on Maiden Lane, and built what became one of the largest investment banks in the world. His law is the law of the daily small deal. The Talmud, in Tractate Bava Batra, teaches that a man who closes one small deal every day for a year accumulates more capital than the man who waits all year for one large deal. Why? Because the small deal teaches discipline, builds reputation, and compounds. The large deal teaches gambling. Marcus Goldman closed small deals every single day for 30 years before Goldman Sachs ever underwrote a single major issue. Most entrepreneurs you know are sitting around waiting for the one big break. The Torah teaches that the one big break is the result of 1,000 small breaks done in sequence. This week, ask yourself one question. What is the smallest deal I can close today? Not next month. Today. The 6th name is Sachs. Samuel Sachs, who married into the Goldman family, and brought the law of the second eye. The Talmud in Tractate Sanhedrin teaches that no major financial decision should ever be approved by one mind alone. There must be a second mind that reviews, challenges, and either confirms or vetoes. Goldman and Sachs together built a culture where every deal went through two sets of eyes before signature. Today, the largest investment banks in the world still operate by this principle. They call it the partner review. The Talmud called it the second eye. Most entrepreneurs, sign their own contracts, write their own offers, and approve their own pricing without a single second eye. The Torah says this is reckless. This week, ask yourself one question. Who is my second eye? If I do not have one, who can I bring in this month? The seventh name is Lehman. The Lehman brothers, Henry, Emmanuel, and Meyer, who arrived in Alabama in the 1840s as cotton merchants and built the firm that lasted until the catastrophe of 2008. Their law was the law of the brothers' covenant. The Torah teaches in Bereshit, in the story of Joseph and his brothers, that brothers who stay bound by an oath of mutual support survive any famine. Brothers who break that oath fall. The original Lehman brothers wrote a covenant that said no one of them could make a major decision without the other two. For 90 years, the firm prospered. Generations later, the Lehman heirs of 2008 had forgotten the covenant. They were each operating alone. They each thought they were the smartest person in the room. The firm collapsed inside 72 hours. Most entrepreneurs, are operating without a covenant, without a written, signed, formal agreement that binds them to people who can stop them from making a fatal mistake. This week, ask yourself one question. Who has the authority, in writing, to stop me from making a decision that could destroy what I have built? The eighth name is Seligman. Joseph Seligman, who walked into Pennsylvania in 1837 with $100 in his pocket, became a peddler, then a clothier, then a banker, and by the 1860s was lending money to the United States government during the Civil War. His law was the law of the long ladder. The Torah teaches in Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, that the man who climbs slowly from peddling to banking, from one rung to the next, builds a structure that does not break. The man who skips rungs falls. Joseph Seligman did not start as a banker. He started as a man with a pack on his back walking from farm to farm. He earned every rung. Most entrepreneurs, want to skip rungs. They want to start at the top. They are obsessed with appearing wealthy before they are wealthy. The Torah says this is the fastest way to fall. This week, ask yourself one question. What rung am I currently standing on? And am I trying to skip the next one, or am I willing to climb it? So now you have the 8 names: Rothschild, Warburg, Schiff, Loeb, Goldman, Sachs, Lehman, Seligman, and you have the 8 laws: unity, slow time, the unseen partner, the chosen son-in-law, the daily small deal, the second eye, the brothers' covenant, the long ladder, 8 names, 8 laws, 200 years of demonstrated wealth. Let me give you the executive summary, because you are busy and you are not here for spiritual teaching. You are here for tactics. The 8 laws collapse into one principle. The Torah does not teach you how to make money fast. The Torah teaches you how to build a structure that compounds quietly across generations. Every one of these 8 families understood this. They did not chase trends. They did not seek the front page. They built quiet, slow, multi-generational structures that protected capital across 200 years of war, depression, and revolution. While other business empires rose and fell, these 8 names stayed. Here is your call to action this week. Pick one of the 8 laws, just one. Write it on a card, put it on your desk where you can see it every day. And by the end of this week, take one concrete action that applies that law to your business. If you picked unity, find one person to formally bind to your decisions. If you picked slow time, shut down completely for 24 hours. If you picked the unseen partner, accept being invisible on a deal where someone else gets the photo. If you pick the chosen son-in-law, name your real successor. If you pick the daily small deal, close one this week. If you pick the second eye, find your second mind. If you pick the brother's covenant, write the agreement. If you pick the long ladder, identify the rung you are skipping and stop skipping it. When I came back to consciousness on that operating table in 1996, the first words I said to my wife were these: the 8 names are real, the 8 laws are real, and every one of them is in the Torah. I had been studying these texts for 30 years before I died, and I had missed it. HaShem showed me what I had been reading without seeing. I have spent the last 30 years writing down what I saw. The Torah is not just a holy book. It is the oldest, most tested business manual in human history. And now you have one more page of it. If this gave you the page you needed today, subscribe. There are 72 more laws where these 8 came from, and I am going to give them to you, one by one, every week, until you have the whole structure in your hands.